कुछ कुछ होता है अंजलि, तुम नहीं समझोगी. I was 6 years old when I watched this film. And every time I heard Shah Rukh Khan say Anjali, I thought he's calling out to me. Literally. I just knew that this is the place where I belong. Little did I realize that at a very young and innocent age, I had found my true calling in life acting. I dreamt of being an actor at the age of 6, and I broke it to my parents when I was 21. So let me introduce myself. My name is Anjali Barot, and I am an actor. I come from a simple middle class Gujarati family where my father works in a bank, my mother is a wonderful housemaker, and my younger sister who works in an agency. I was born and brought up in Navi Mumbai, and yes, I still get responses like, do you need a visa to travel to Mumbai? Do we need to book you an outstation cab? With that said, please fasten your seatbelts as we will now travel back in time to when my dream was, well, just a dream. And as my social media bio aptly summarizes, Chhoti Aakhein, Bade Sapne. I was 6 when I wanted to act, and I kept this as my safely guarded secret for 15 long years. 15 years of holding on to a secret. True story, I can't even plan birthday surprises because I just have to blurt it out. I intentionally decided not to disclose this with anyone because I was petrified that I would be judged and laughed at for my choices. As I grew older, the fire in me to pursue my dreams got bigger and bigger. When you come from a completely non-filmy background and have no connections whatsoever, you really don't know who to speak to, how to begin, or just what to do. So, I started calculating backwards. I asked myself, what do I need to do to become an actor? At that time, I would often read in newspapers that some actor was spotted in a production house and then his life changed overnight instantly. I had a plan right in front of me. I made up my mind that I am going to work in a production house, and for that, I needed my degree in mass media. And that's exactly what I transpired. I thought I had figured it all out like a perfect mathematical equation. I was young, naive, ambitious, deadly combo. So, as per the plan, I finished my bachelor's in mass media and slid into the spam mails of all the good production houses with a hope to get an opportunity to intern. I was willing to work for free. However, I got nothing substantial for 9 full months. So, on one side, where my friends were either pursuing their masters or some had even started earning, I had nothing concrete in my hands. I thought maybe now's the time to work on myself and take up a small acting course. At the age of 21, I gathered all the courage in the world and I went up to my parents and I told them that since I don't really have anything much right now, I was wondering if I could take up a 3-month acting course in Andheri West. Dramatic pause. Sorry guys, no sob story here because my parents were completely on board and they told me to go ahead with it. But that was just one part. The next question was, what's the fees? The cost of that course was rupees 90,000 in 2013. You would know how much that amount means to a middle class family. Luckily, there was an option to pay an installment. So my father paid 30,000 rupees every month and I paid in guilt. My class would start at 9 am in Andheri West. And since I stayed in Navi Mumbai, I would leave my house at 5:45 am, change 2 trains and reach Andheri station by 8 am. With no metro and an endless wait for the bus, I decided to take an auto ride on my first day of class. The cost of that auto ride was 60 rupees one way. That's 120 in a day, 3,600 in a month, and 10,500 rupees in 3 months. I was always good at maths. So, I had a plan once again. I decided I am going to save this 10,500 rupees and use it for the last installment of my fees and help my father. Hence, I started walking 6 kilometers every day from Andheri station to my classes. Daily workout, check. One fine day, a casting director named Weber Vishal, who then worked with Mukesh Chabra Casting Company, gave us a guest lecture and shared his email ID with us for any future help. Guess who wrote to him instantly? My email screamed enthusiasm and eagerness to audition. And to my surprise, he called me to audition for a film in Mukesh Chabra Casting Company. I was thrilled. In my head, I had already made it. I was in a big banner film and already giving my TED talk in 2013. But that audition was my first reality check. And let me put it in this perspective, since we have a lot of non-actors here. Auditions are to us what AIEEE is for you guys, but with 99.9% cutoff. Because literally that many people audition for that part and one person gets the job. Coming back to my audition, it was horrible. Because I got so overwhelmed with the entire process that I ended up acting. You know what I mean? Acting is basically being able to not act at all. And my audition was terrible. I could see it in his face. I was so disappointed with myself that I had lost such a good opportunity. I went back to my same routine. I finished my acting course, but in this entire process, my confidence had taken a hit. I did not have courage to give auditions anymore, but I hadn't given up on acting. So I started looking out for a job in production house once again, but this time to understand the process of content and get comfortable in that environment. I finally secured a full-time job in an ad production house in 2015 as a director's assistant. I was then promoted to being an associate producer in 2015. I was doing decent for my age. I was taking care of my expenses and I was proud about that. However, there was this one emotion that kept haunting me every time I was on set. Why am I standing behind the camera when I know I belong in the front? It used to frustrate me to watch someone else perform. But I never expressed this even in the production house I was working with because I thought I would be judged again. Then came my first breakthrough, Dub Smash. You remember that app where you could act out movie dialogues? Yeah, I know some of you are already judging me right now, but don't worry, it's completely okay. People laughed at me then for making those videos. People laugh at me now when they hear the story, and people can laugh at me all they want. But you know what? I went to that app seeking an outlet and came off gaining my confidence back. My videos were being shared, my followers were increasing, and more than that, I was upskilling. Dub Smash served as a fodder to my acting bug, and what drove me even more was that people were enjoying watching me perform. One of my college seniors happened to watch my dub and called me for an ad audition that he was working on. I was thrilled and nervous at the same time because now I was going to audition after 1.5 years post my initial hiccup. But you know what? I just got the part. And just like that, my fear of auditions had also vanished. I was so elated that I was finally going to face the camera as a professional actor. You know, there are some moments in your life in which you have an out-of-body experience that you just can't put it in words. That moment for me was when I heard action. I knew this is what I wanted to hear for the rest of my life. Post that ad, I continued doing my work and auditions only to realize that I couldn't sail on two boats. In 2015, I went to my parents and I told them that I want to quit my job and pursue acting full-time. My parents obviously had their own concerns and they asked me if I was willing to let go of the cushion and security of a monthly income and instead keep waiting for an acting gig to materialize. I told them that I had saved some money which could sustain for 1 year tops. And in that 1 year, I wanted to give 500% to acting and see if I could pull it off. And to my surprise, they said yes, go ahead. Then began the vicious circle of auditions, reaching out to casting directors, and my best friend, rejections. I used to audition for about 60 ads in a month, out of which I would get shortlisted for, say, about 20, and then maybe I would get that one ad. In that way, I managed to get 2 ads in 6 months, but I took it as a silver lining. Meanwhile, my parents had also figured that she is not going to give up on acting, and in fact, they even celebrated my tiniest of wins. I remember my mother cried more than me when one of the TVCs I had shot for chopped my 2 seconds of visuals, and she just couldn't understand why. But I kept going. Slowly, I started getting ads, short films, and then came my second breakthrough, digital media. In 2018, I got my first digital sketch, and people started loving and recognizing me from those videos. I was elated that people wanted to watch me for more than just 30 seconds. I went on to work with the best of digital channels like ScoopWhoop, FilterCopy, Blush, RVCJ, and so on. Soon I became the digital face. Digital truly gave me wings to fly. I would play multiple characters every other day, and it gave me a platform to showcase my talent to a wider audience. Interestingly, in the same year, in 2018, I got a call from Mukesh Chabra Casting Company saying that they would want to audition me for a film. A big banner film from a production house I used to once obsess about, and I was bundle of nerves all over again. I gathered all the courage and went for that audition, and turns out I actually did well. As an actor, you just know when you've given that good take. After a few days, I got a call saying that I was shortlisted for the film, and I was anxious and how. But I did not follow up with the casting director because I have this weird fear that I will jinx a project if I do so. So even though I didn't ask about it, I never forgot about it either. Cut to few months later, I get a call from the same team saying, Anjali, we would like to audition you for a web show called Scam 1992. Without inquiring about the previous project, I went to the office to test for this part. Balvinder Singh, one of the senior-most casting directors in Mukesh Chabra Casting Company, came to me and he told me, Anjali, I just wanted to tell you that we had loved your audition for the film. And I won't be able to forget that for a really long time. But I'm sorry that it didn't work out, and I'm sure something good is going to come out of this. That moment brought me closure and much needed calm to the chaos in my head. That day, I also learned that rejections hurt you a little more when they come wrapped in the form of a genuine compliment. With a smile on my face and tears in my eyes, I just said thank you and went to the studio to audition for Jyoti Mehta's Scam 1992. And wait, it's not over yet. I got to know that I was shortlisted for that part, and then the project went on hold for 1 year. There wasn't one single day when I didn't think about it or didn't hope for it to materialize. I kept doing my regular acting work, and 1 year later, I get a call from the same team asking, Anjali, do you remember the part that you had tested for in Scam 1992? We just wanted to check your dates and confirm your availability. Do I even need to say how I felt? I just screamed a big yes. From giving the worst audition of my life in 2013 to winning a dream project in 2019 from the same company, life had come a full circle. From my humble beginnings and a roller coaster ride, I've learned a few lessons which I would love to share. Number 1, there's no plan B but route B. If you really want to chase your dreams and if you have an undying passion towards it, never give yourself a cushion of plan B. Because when you do that, you end up accessing that plan B. Instead, give yourself a route B, route C, route D, or a route Z. Because there might be many routes that will reach to your destination, but no route is an easy one. Second, success is a commodity. Oprah Winfrey, before becoming the Oprah Winfrey, was told that she is unfit for television. Sachin Tendulkar got out at 15 runs in his debut match against Pakistan. So you can't just get up one fine day and expect success right away. Even if you're the best at something, it just doesn't work like that. So when I say success is a commodity, I mean that if you want it, you earn it. Third, my best friend, rejections. Who hasn't faced and overcome rejections? Every rejection in your life has brought you to this point. And trust me, if you can look back at those rejections with a smile and without any bitter feelings, you will do just fine. So if there are 100 people who may reject you, you need to be that one person who believes in you. Today, when Scam 1992 has technically broken all the records and people ask me how does it feel to achieve this overnight success, 5 years of undeterred hard work and a million of rejections flash in front of my eyes. And I just tell them I feel content. Do I feel I have arrived? No. Do I have producers and directors waiting for me at the doorstep? No. Do I know what I'm going to do next? Not really. But I know one thing for sure, that you're as good as your last project. So right now, while the audiences are loving the show and the critics are appreciating my performance, I am back to auditioning. I am still winning some jobs and I'm still losing a lot of jobs. But I sleep happy at night that I've made the 6-year-old Anjali proud. From obsessing over one production house to falling in love with my craft, from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai Anjali to Risk Hai To Isk Hai, this has been my journey so far. Picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Until then, stay positive and test negative. Thank you so much.